All right guys, real quick before we get into this video. During this video, I'm gonna ask you to comment a name down below for a new fish that we have got. So when I give you those instructions, make sure you follow because I will be giving you an opportunity to win a piece of merch and your entry is based on that comment. So make sure that you stay tuned, make sure you watch for those instructions and make sure you follow them and enter for your chance to win a piece of Christopher Scott merch from thefanaticbrand.com. Hey, what is going on everybody? Well, we are back for another video. And I don't know if you saw the last video, maybe the one before, where I had to euthanize our poor little Betta because he just really was not doing well. It was a very sad situation. Not something I wanted to do at all. But he was old and he definitely was struggling and I couldn't watch him suffer. You know, I don't want this tank to really go empty, so I really want to get a new Betta for it. So we're gonna go out today and we're actually gonna get us a new Betta for this tank. But before we do that, we really need to clean this tank out and completely rescape it. And you know, we may put some plants in it. I'm not really sure exactly what we're gonna do, but let's get into this today and get this thing rescaped. All right guys, well here is our tank here and I actually need to clean it up just a little bit. I got everything out of it. I just need to clean the glass, but we're gonna be going through a very base level scape today. This is not gonna be anything crazy. We're gonna use a little driftwood, some nice substrate and a couple of rocks maybe and a plant. This tank has historically been in my bedroom and it's had some black substrate in it, but today we're gonna change it up a little bit. So we're actually gonna be using this red substrate here along with this piece of driftwood. The driftwood is actually mounted on a piece of slate that we're gonna sit in the bottom of this tank, which we're gonna go ahead and actually do that now. So this piece of driftwood is literally just gonna sit right up in here like this, and we'll probably set it over to one side like we've done before. With that piece of driftwood there, now all we're gonna really do is just fill this thing up with some substrate. I mean, it's pretty simple, like I said, but before we do that, I wanna clean this glass off. Let me run back here to the fish room. It's so dark in my house. And we're gonna grab this fantastic product that I have. And this is not a sponsored video, but I really like this product. The beautiful thing about it is that I can use it on the outside of my aquarium as well as on the inside of my aquarium because it's ammonia free and it does a really good job of getting stuff off the glass. That is this API Safe and Easy glass cleaner right here. So all I do is just spray this on a paper towel, start wiping away on the glass, inside and outside, and we're good to go. So let's go ahead and clean up the glass real quick. So we're just gonna spray this on a paper towel and we're gonna start wiping the glass down. So I'll see you back here in just a moment. All right guys, got you on the back of the aquarium here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a cup, start gathering up this substrate and literally just pouring this stuff in. It doesn't have to go in a specific way. You just wanna make sure that you fill up the base really good with substrate, and we're just gonna keep dumping this stuff in until we get it filled up here. But like I said earlier, you know, I haven't used this red substrate in this before. It's always been a black substrate, and honestly, I mean, I've used this red substrate before in other tanks, just not in this one. This one has always been a black substrate, but I really like the red. I normally have a paintbrush, and this is in fact a paintbrush, it's just a foam brush. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna literally start moving this substrate around where I want it. And what we're trying to create here is just a we want it to kind of flow down. So it's going to be high on this side, flow to a softer, lower kind of bed on this side. And then what we'll do is we'll plant some plants. We want some natural plants for this Betta to, you know, sleep on. And I want it to kind of appear as if there's a drop off here. So I'm actually gonna take some of this rock substrate and move it over here. Let's find us a rock to put in here. Like this one right here. So I'm gonna drop this right down in here. And in fact, let me show you here. What you have is, we have kind of this higher area back here with this rock right here. And I wanna get this rock all the way up in here, and then I'm gonna backfill this back over top of it on both sides. And then what we'll do is we'll use the paintbrush, kind of get this stuff off of here, and then it kind of gives it an appearance of like a little bit of a drop off once this is down like this. It's nothing crazy, it's literally just the aesthetics of it. But if you look, I mean, it's kind of built up on this side. It's got a rock here, it falls down here. Quite basic scape, like I said. But we're not looking for anything crazy, just simply because it's a Betta tank. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here, and I have an actual plant holding tank here. So let's look and see. So we have a little anubias. We have some little tiny Java ferns. Maybe we'll take both the anubias and the little Java fern. That's what I think we're gonna go with. Let's take some more Java fern actually. Yeah, I think that's good. I think some Java fern and an anubias will be good for this. So let's see where we can put this stuff. We have, like I said, a little bit of a Java fern here. We have this anubias, we have a little more Java fern. So I'm thinking that the first thing we need to do is actually put some Java fern down inside of this little tree branch here. Now, what I'm gonna do is to use some cynoacrylate glue. And cynoacrylate glue is actually safe for aquariums because once it dries, it actually becomes an inert substance, which basically means that it is not dangerous to the fish. So what we'll do is we're just gonna place some cynoacrylate glue where we wanna put these Java ferns, and then we're just gonna simply glue them to the wood. So that'll dry right there, and then we'll add some more over here. And this will actually be the back of the tank. So now what we wanna do is just go ahead and bury this root system on this anubias right here. Now granted, you do not want to bury the rhizome, but burying these roots is perfectly fine. All right guys, well this is the overall scape, which like I said, this thing it's a very basic scape, but it's just the fact that I wanted something else in this tank because I liked having that Betta, and you know, with the Betta having to be euthanized, we figured why not go ahead and get a new one, but we wanted to change it up just a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and get some pre-cycled filter media for the filtration for this thing, as well as go ahead and get some water in here, and then we're going to introduce you to this new fish. So let's go get after it. And just like that, we have a tank full of water, pre-cycled filter media, and this thing is good to go. So we're gonna let this thing sit and run for just a few minutes while we introduce you to the new Betta. All right guys, here is our new Betta. Look at this beautiful little male Betta. If you look at him, he has purple on his head. I mean, he's covered in purple. I don't know how well this is showing up on the camera, but he is almost completely purple. He goes from a light purple to a darker purple on his nose, and then has darker purple on his fins. But looking at him from the top, you can kind of see on his head there, but this thing is for sure a cool looking fish. All right guys, well what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cup acclimate this guy and just get him used to both the water parameters as well as the temperature of the water. We'll continue to cup acclimate him like this. We'll, you know, replace the water 3 or 4 times over the next 15-20 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get this guy in there. Well, it's time to get this dude in his new home, and I got a little help coming from none other than
Max Robert.
All right, buddy, so do you know what I want you to do?
Put the Betta in the tank.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do it, buddy. Perfect. Look at that little dude right there. Look at how purple he looks. I mean, he really looks purple, doesn't he? Such a cool looking Betta. All right, well, I have to admit, this Betta looks pretty sick. So what we need from you is comment below and let us know, what do you think we should name this guy? Because this guy's gonna stay around. So this tank is going to stay where it always has. And you know, the hope is he lives for years and years. So make sure you comment below because we'd like for your feedback on what we should name this guy.
We would really appreciate it if you'll comment down below a name for the Betta.
So hopefully you guys went on to enjoy this video, and hopefully you enjoyed the Betta. Just like little Max Robert said, go ahead and comment below and let us know what you think we should name this little guy. And with all of that being said, little Max Robert has something to ask of you.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel or followed us on Instagram, do that now and we'll see you on the next one.